Episode 4, 912 Crew Sports. We got Mac Daddy Edwards. We got Adrian West, not Lewis. And we got Jaron, JD Lewis. Missing Butch tonight, but we proceed. We're going to jump right into, we went to Pinewood versus St. Andrews at Daffin Park. We went to Ronny's pregame, and food was great.
Amazing milkshake.
But the game was great. Any notes on the game that you guys want to call out, Mac?
The only thing I've got to say is I don't know whose decision it was to play at Daffin Park. Great facility. However, they ruined the Golden Foot's career. Mm-hmm. They did not allow him to kick the ball because he would have kicked the sack of suds across the road right there on Victory Drive. But when they did let him kick an extra point, he kicked it in the top of one of the biggest live oak trees I think I've ever seen in Savannah, Georgia. Mm-hmm. So,
but on a serious note, I'm like you. I thought it was a good venue. It was well lit, nice playing surface.
Yeah.
But he very well could be trying to set some kind of record or see how many points he could score or whatever. But a game like that to a senior, and it's no fault of his or any of the coaches.
No.
Because we can't send a 14-year-old ball boy outside the gate on the Victory Drive to try to retrieve the ball in the dark. It's nobody's fault. It's just kind of a
He'd been like Frogger trying to jump through the road.
Dodgeball.
Tough situation for Al, and like I say, it's no fault of the coaches. Whatever they were playing it smart for
everybody.
Like
it was the safe decision.
And the tough part about it was the whole game was played on the half of the field that we were standing on.
Yeah,
they went maybe one drive on the other end, and he got to kick a field goal then or an extra point. And like I said, he boomed it, but so that was kind of tough.
Which we could have stood in the Sack of Suds parking lot catch the ball for him.
Yeah, y'all could have stood in the Sack of Suds parking lot. I was staying in the well lit area of the field.
Yeah.
Well, when we pulled up, you hear the bagpipe playing. I was wanting to hear the.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
The bagpipe.
That was pretty cool.
Is there anything cooler than bagpipes?
I don't think so.
I feel like if he could have had a more contemporary song, that would have been even better.
Something like Rocky or something.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I was walking, and by that time I heard that thing humming. I got so pumped.
Yeah. I will say one observation that I had about being on the field and being close to Big Al, when he was kicking into that net, it sounded like a shotgun going on.
Oh yeah.
Well, you can't help but flinch. You're sitting there trying to do.
Yeah.
Kicks another one. It's like, it literally sounded like a shotgun going off each time.
I'm pretty sure it would have took somebody's head off if he hadn't had that net.
And this is we saw Banks.
So QB1 was back groundhog. So, and kind of like what you hit on before, or we all did, when you put him back into the mix of things, and it opens up so much more.
Yeah.
Sam's able to just run the ball then. Like, you don't have to think of all the other stuff.
Yep.
Banks does a great job with the option and pitching it. And I don't know if it was indicative of the game that we were playing or what, but man, they look so much more just crisp and clean.
And I think the reason that they look so crisp and clean was the fact that we got to see people tote the ball that have not been able to necessarily tote the ball because the offensive playbook had been kind of concise for Sam.
Yeah.
And again, not taking anything away from Sam, but
it was just the
Tibbet scored.
Had the cards they've been dealt. It's just it was what it was.
And I just want to say, your nephew. I've seen the kid grow up, but when he come at us and lowered his shoulder on that guy, like I don't remember kids being that big when I played high school.
Right. All of them when they walked out in front of us, like you look at Pinewood on the field, and even when we walked up and St. Andrews was standing outside getting ready to come through where the bagpipes were when we come into the field, like all of them, I thought the same thing was like, kids wasn't this big.
No.
And
No.
and looking onto the field, they don't look that big. But
it definitely wasn't a Folsom gene pool. It was all Lewis. It was all Lewis.
I don't know about the size.
It was all Lewis.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with Folsom.
Yeah, so I thought Pinewood looked really good with Banks being there in the quarterback position. Another observation that I had was the Facebook Live was awesome. The halftime stuff was really cool.
Yeah.
I thought since we had that kind of sideline deal and had that space, you guys were able to kind of interview people, and we got Stephen Watkins and Kelvin Goodson in on the action. I thought that was a blast.
Got Foy and Mitch.
Yeah, I
Tyler.
mean, I was enjoying
Tyler
watching
just
you guys.
the only thing is Tyler. We almost had to go to a commercial break. Tyler talked so
I actually
much.
did have to go to a commercial break to get him to quit talking.
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
To get his thoughts on the game. But no, I'm with you, Jordy. That was a lot of fun. But talking about the game, to me, like I said, they were a lot more crisp. It seemed like I thought when we went to FPD, we were starting to figure some stuff out. And I forget what the next game was. I kind of felt like we took a step back.
Yeah.
And we've always talked about it too. When a team goes and plays a big game, just like Alabama when they played Georgia, their next game traditionally is not a good game. And I think that might have been what happened with Pinewood a little bit after
Westfield?
FPD. Whoever, whatever the game was, we kind of went back. I thought maybe a little bit, and then watching them last night, I feel like we're starting to hit our stride. And I think a lot of it's got to do with the confidence in the guys just having a quarterback.
Oh, man.
I mean, not that Sam didn't do a good job at quarterback. He's just, I can tell he's more comfortable at running back.
Yeah.
He's got one thing to think about, and it's running the ball and running it hard, which he does well.
Yeah.
Banks does a good job with the option, getting it out there. We just, I don't know, everything's just, and it may be the team that we was playing.
Yeah.
I mean, that
They were a
can
little
do
short-handed. And,
right.
Yeah.
They didn't have quite as many players as the rest, but it just seemed like the plays looked more in time, and maybe we're starting to hit our stride when we need to. I know they got a tough week ahead of them with Frederica coming up,
Yep.
and then Bullock after them. Frederica did beat Bullock last week, so
Yep. They beat them.
that's kind of something to look at. I've been able to see Bullock practice twice. My daughter runs Adrian's too cross country, the junior pro cross country for Pinewood, and while we were there, we saw them practice, and like I said, they looked good on the hoof. But like we talked about before, man, from walking in the other night and Pinewood walking in front of us, I would have thought, man, we're at a college football game.
I was not expecting that. I mean, I guess it being in the booth, but we just don't get to see that. But
Right.
us being on the sideline, I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't enjoy calling the game in the booth and getting to see everything. But that was something special to be on the sideline the whole game and really interact on the sideline. That was pretty cool.
Yep. So yeah, you touched on a little bit. Pinewood is 4-4 versus Frederica next week, who is 5-3. They beat Bullock. Frederica beat Bullock Academy last week, 35-20, which was something that I didn't think I would see. Because I mean, Butch has been talking about how good Bullock looks, and you have said that same thing too. I feel like that's going to be a tough game. I thought Bullock was the game that was going to be the toughest left, but maybe it's Frederica. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We were maybe looking past Frederica to get to Bullock, but I don't think that's the case now.
Yeah.
And it's going to be there. I have been to Frederica before, but I've never been to their football field. When we went back in the day, they only had soccer, and their baseball field was actually the one that I was talking about the other night when me and Butch was telling the story at halftime, how he played baseball at Daffin Park, and this field's still there, where the old backstop and all was. There was no fence. So, I mean, you could hit one a mile, and there was no home run. But the field that we played on was down there at Frederica. I was in the 8th grade, I believe. And the only way you could hit a home run where you could trot around the bases was there was a big oak tree that hung over past third base. And if you hit it in the top of that oak tree and it hit in the limbs and fell down, it was a home run. Like a ground ruled home run. You could run around the bases. Otherwise, you could hit one 782 foot, and you just had to run the bases,
as hard as you could.
Yeah. So.
Jaron's put the microphone in my hand, and I'm a little nervous here because I normally let him do the lead, but the Golden Foot's fixing to step into it. High pooch kick. They catch it right there about the 35-36. everybody listening at home, we're going to pass this back to Jaron and have an original call.
Folks, that reminded me of the movie Major League whenever Bob Uecker passed out from having too many spirits. And there was a line drive that was caught on a dive, and he said fly ball caught. That's exactly what that just reminded me of.
Just a bit outside.
It was a high pooch kick from the sideline. If we'd have been in the box, I'd have been able to call that line drive. Jaron, if you want to give the people what they're paying for.